Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their...
Become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Hartman. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And all the way down to the 29. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. That's some early fireworks on the first play from scrimmage.
The last fireworks I saw, July 4th, okay? Here they are celebrating the start of this game the exact same way. Explosive right out of the gate.
Look at me, Zipper. Hey, Alpha. 53's mine. Shoot.
On 1st and 10, Hartman. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
Open man is Galladay, complete. Touchdown, Detroit! Kenny Galladay with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions, right?
2 touchdown passes last week. 2
touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. Open man is Howard, the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit, #1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Let's go, D.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Open man has got one. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. CD, with that last pass, he joined a group of about 50 other men that are over 30,000 career passing yards. So, look, he's not at the top, but that's pretty good company.
Yeah, it's not the most exclusive fraternity in the NFL, but it's a pretty good one, isn't it? You still have to put some numbers up in order to get in, okay? The secret knock is still there. How about it?
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That's how we do it, baby.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
He finds his man, Johnson.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of two. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Winston. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfro. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. On 1st and 10, Winston. Got a man. It's Brown. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the blitz coming, and down he goes.
They can't stop the franchise.
Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a 1st quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
The 1st carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Yeah. Get it.
Johnson running right. Gets by him at the 25, and he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 11 yards there, and a Lion 1st down. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
Tighten up, tighten up. Put up. Now.
On first down, Anthony. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And now the offense for Detroit.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
On 2nd down, Anthony takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. We'll look now at our starting defense. They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now they've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
And the box with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Check 26, check 1.
Operating from the gun, Hartman. Eluding the pressure right. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out come the Bucs now. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready. Check, here we go, here we go.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston, he finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and he's going to go down again. Aaron Donald, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Johnson on the counter, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, Anthony, and he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
2nd down and inches. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Let's go. 50, play. Check. 53, smart. You run. Check. Check, hot. Check. Pilot, 64, weak.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Ready.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
53.
From the gun, Hartman. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that is incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Hartman, he wants it all for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Running from the gun, Johnson. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun, Winston. He completes it to Evans. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score.
Get that ball. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
A first down throw for Winston. And that is incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
A second down throw for Winston. And the catch made by Johnson.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Jameis to throw it. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Let's go, defense.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Underneath for Johnson. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it fourth down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe.
And got his man complete.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
So a very tight. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Here comes Grant on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return, and the Lions will take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Hartman. Going right side here, and that's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. This is caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 25 yards that time. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got it 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly, and now 1st and goal. Expect them attack right here on this play.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He gets it to Brown. Complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. That'll bring up fourth down after back-to-back-to-back 3-yard pickups.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Lock it, lock it. Watch the shit. Hey, watch the shit.
2nd and 5. He'll get this one to Golladay. And out across midfield down to the 45.
Here we go.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Break. Opposite. Right. Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day. Can. Safety green.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
You ready? And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. X3. 218, chop. Slayer. Skid.
To throw on 2nd down. Hartman. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Golladay. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Ready?
This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. They give to Johnson going right. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Switch.
On 2nd down now, Anthony. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain, but he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them, and if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of, and now they can move forward.
From the gun, Hartman. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey. Watch the slant. Check, check. Fresno. Hey, Spike.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So a little extra time to ponder this third and goal as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll come out in the pistol. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal.
Hey, box cut. Let's see.
Operating from the gun, Hartman, and that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. No surprise there, third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
To throw on second and 10. Winston, and Graham's got it, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Winston. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. That'll bring up second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Jameis again. Complete. It's Johnson. And just shedding him off there. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Aaron Donald make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. He's got Evans. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 32-yard line. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on second down. Winston. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
This will be caught by Brown. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. To throw, Winston. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Aaron Donald. And the Lion defense able to come up there with a goal line stand. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
They're going to get 9 here on 1st down as he gets this one up to the 34-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Hartman. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone,
and Winston lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, Hartman. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Here's Winston. Got him in. It's Brown. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Juwan Williams, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Lions, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they dipped to 2-5 now.